Hello, NDNerd17 here, coming back at you with another video, same time, every week. I had recorded a video before this, however, the audio was hella scuffed for some reason. I don't know what was going on. So instead, I'm gonna do something else, slightly different, and we're gonna be reacting to Ludwig's video on Andrew Tate being deplatformed from Instagram and Facebook. My opinion, rest in piss, you won't be missed. But anyway, let's hear what Mr. Ludwig has to say.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of a million 14-year-old boys crying in anguish as their fearless leader, Andrew Tate, was banned on Instagram and Facebook today. Now,
As I said, rest in piss, you won't be missed. That's his demographic too. 14-year-olds, young, teenagers, young men, younger people, because they want someone to guide them through life, to be an inspiration to them. And it sucks that it's been Andrew Tate for such maybe not a long time necessarily, but he's been around for a hot minute and been in the spotlight for a hot minute.
if you don't know who Andrew Tate is, you can just watch this video. And if you do, you're suffering like the rest of us, and we have to talk about this guy once more because this ban is somehow a bit controversial. Now let me...
Yeah, and I don't know why. Ludwig will probably go into it a bit. But there have been a few people that I follow on Twitter that have been like, oh no, he shouldn't have been deplatformed. What he says should just be debated in the marketplace of ideas. And I'm like, what? Why? He's calling for violence against women. It's fine when someone gets deplatformed for calling for violence against trans people, but not fine, and should be debated in the marketplace of ideas when it's against women. That doesn't make sense.
To catch up to speed, Andrew Tate, no stranger to getting banned by social medias, was banned on Twitter for the past 5 years for saying this, which I'm not going to read out loud, but you can read with your eyes.
Yep. There's a reason why he's deplatformed.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's crazy. He said...
Actually, one second. I'm going to higher video quality and put it on 1.5.
that publicly and fought it too. You have to think it. Anyway, he was banned on Facebook. Now I try to find out the exact reason. The ban is a little bit weird in the sense that there was no specific moment that led up to this ban. There's no one thing that he did that Facebook's like, no, not that. But I looked through their hate speech, which they say don't post. Makes sense to me. And it says, do not dehumanize people, including women.
There it is. And he perpetually says that women are objects, women are his property, and yeah, that'll do it. That will in fact do it.
As household objects or refer to them as property. And then I saw this clip of Andrew Tate doing that.
If I have responsibility over her, then I must have a degree of authority. For the same reason, if I have responsibility over, and everyone's going to lose their mind, it's an example, it's only an analogy. If I have responsibility over a child, I have to have some authority. You cannot be responsible for something that doesn't listen to you. You can't be responsible.
Okay, my favorite part about this is Dave Portnoy goes tough off the first one. But the video doesn't end.
Responsible for a dog if it doesn't obey you, or a child if it doesn't obey you, or a woman if it doesn't obey you.
Super sexist path.
Cool, let's take a beautiful sports car. It doesn't matter, a house,
Yeah,
land,
didn't help.
whatever.
Okay, wait, I'm being sexist. Okay, so my shovel of a wife, right? It's crazy. But look, if you don't take my word that Andrew Tate is sexist, maybe this guy will convince you.
If you're going to be realistic about the world, you're going to be a little bit sexist. I'll openly say I'm a little bit sexist because I'm realistic. Men are just better than women.
So I feel like we got that out of the way. Now let me make...
And that's not true. And if you think that's true, you're wrong. Straight up. Full stop. You're wrong. Men are not better than women. There are certain things that, in a general sense, men do better than women, and women do better than men. Again, in a general sense, not saying that there aren't exceptions, because there clearly are. Humans are impossibly diverse and varied. It is impossible to say something and have it apply to an entire gender. Anyway.
Make it very clear, I think Andrew Tate is a piece of shit. I think him being banned is overall a good for the world.
Yep, net positive.
World, it's not that much of a difference because the sexism's still there, right? Think of it like this: Meta banning Andrew Tate is taking away their responsibility to actually deal with the root problems of their platform, where they're promoting people who are Islamophobic, sexist, racist, all the time with their algorithm. The same problems that YouTube, Twitter deal with. Every single social media platform has an algorithm, and they're boosting. They're the ones literally lifting up these creators, and then as like a good thing, they'll ban one. Like that.
Yes, exactly. And because the algorithm is based around promoting videos, channels, people, posts, etc., that gain like a lot of traction via comments, likes, and dislikes, these people get pushed because they generate a lot of discourse, like in their comment section. People want to comment and be like, oh, I don't agree with this. This is awful, blah, blah. And then they get dogpiled, and then there's a whole comments thread, and it helps that video in the algorithm, which is why, like, personally, I know this. So if I don't like something, I don't leave a like. I don't comment. Maybe I'll dislike it if it's really that bad. But, like, if you want to, like, hurt the creator and like that video as much as possible, just don't interact with it at all.
Ahead of the Hydra, and then 2 more will come out. I mean, there will be 2 more sexist content creators in 6 months that come out of this that are maybe a little less effective at making money and have a little more hair on their head, probably. Okay, that.
Yeah, I mean, fresh and fit, kind of the same thing, just less hella masculine, I guess. Less like accolades to their name.
That is the reality of the situation. And there's going to be some people, maybe even watching this video, who are like, they're trying to silence my boy Tate. They're trying to silence him. Really? You think Meta is trying to silence Andrew Tate? When they didn't even silence their Facebook users from causing a, quote, determining role in the Rohingya genocide, which...
Yeah, pretty much. Because ultimately it comes down to what makes them money and what doesn't. If it doesn't make them money, if it's giving them bad rap and like, you know, not sponsors, like advertisers pull it out and stuff like that, of course.
Which, by the way, caused over 20,000 people to die in a lot more atrocities. You think the line was, you know what? It's that Tate guy. Now, honestly, what probably happened is there's some high-level exec who got Andrew Tate on their radar. Hassan, I'll call him earlier. He told me this is his theory, that there's some 11-year-old boy in the fucking basement going, God, you bitch! And it's a Facebook dad exec or mom exec up top, and they went to work, and it's one click of a button, and he's gone. It's probably that simple. Because
That's an interesting theory. I don't know if that's how that would work, but an exec could probably have that kind of power.
That's how platforms work. They are notoriously inconsistent with bans.
True.
If that is your concern, if you're like, damn, this was an inconsistent ban, yeah, that's how it works with all these platforms. Twitch bans streamers for saying cracker, but doesn't for ableist slurs.
Who'd they get with that? Just, as far as I know, it was just Hassan, Vosh, both of which are back, and Fawn. I think Fawn was a mistake ban. I think she was just playing like Hassan's video or something. But yeah, so dumb. And none of the creators on Twitch got banned for like having Andrew Tate on their streams. So inconsistency. Surprise, surprise.
YouTube doesn't know where its own line is. The platform's content moderations have become haphazard and inconsistent. Twitter under pressure over double standards after Donald Trump MAGA crackdown. Every single platform struggles with consistent moderation. They have the pressure of having an algorithm to make people enjoy their site and stay in it longer, but the algorithm's just a robot that doesn't care if it's promoting something bad or hate-filled. It just promotes...
Correct, and as I said before, whatever gets the engagement is what gets pushed, positive or negative.
For people to stay on the platform, and then they try to do the band-aid of, oh, we'll ban that now. I mean, you probably should have some solution on the in-between. This is my take. Maybe something that's different than banning. Maybe something like maybe blacklisting. Like, you don't have them in the algorithm anymore. Just pull them out of the algorithm. It's the same thing as YouTube with demonetizing. You know how powerful demonetizing is? Demonetizing has killed channels. It's made creators stop posting. It's not a good thing, but if you need a step between banning and not banning, so it's not a fucking controversy every time like Andrew Tate or a Andrew Tate clone gets banned, you can do that.
It's not a bad idea. Some creators have very much gone away despite not being like banned from the platform because they can't get monetization on their videos. Like Onision, after all the weird and stupid things and dangerous things he's done. I don't know if he's said that much, but like that's a whole rabbit hole there. But he's still on the platform posting weird like children's songs, I guess. But yeah, but he's still here. He just isn't making any money.
And then maybe creators will be a little less centrist about this take, and with a little more gumption to be able to say, oh yeah, I think it makes sense that Andrew Tate was demonetized on the platform and he's no longer circulating in the algorithm. He probably shouldn't be promoted because all he's doing is trying to sell his multi-level marketing scheme.
Exactly.
Which I think is a good enough reason to not promote someone at all in the first place.
Exactly. There is a financial incentive for a lot of these people sharing and creating clips to do so, because if people join the MLM, join Hustlers University, because of them, they get a cut of the money that that person paid to join Hustlers University. There's a financial incentive for all of this.
And I saw even creators I really like have takes that I thought were so...
Yeah, that's the thing. CoffeeZilla and Mudahar specifically of Some Ordinary Gamers didn't want him to be deplatformed. It's a bad take. That's just a bad take. Because it's not stupid ideas, they're dangerous ideas. Tate's calling, maybe inadvertently, calling for violence against women. And that's not okay. That is not okay. He's saying it's okay for people to like beat their girlfriends and assert their dominance and blah blah. No, that's not okay. That shouldn't have a platform. And you're not going to marketplace of ideas out of, and outdo that, because people will take that as like, oh, they just don't like it because he's right, or something like that. No. It needs to be removed. Dangerous ideas like that need to be removed so that the public discourse isn't revolving around such a dangerous thing. People can end up getting hurt because of this, and that's not okay.
Oh, mid. Like, I think CoffeeZilla is a smart guy. I think he makes great videos.
Absolutely.
He says, like, dislike Tate. Kids are going to grow up thinking their only weapon against ideas is deplatforming. I don't think the kids are the ones who deplatform Tate here. I think the platforms do it when their success does not align with the creator's success that they ban.
Yes. It's about the money.
All right? Either because it's getting too much negative press, like an Alex Jones type, or it's something that maybe, like I said earlier, ran across an exec's desk and it doesn't follow terms of service, and it can be a slam dunk ban that takes off the pressure of making any real change to a platform. I'll also say about CoffeeZilla, he said, what's the better solution? Talking to them Lamau. Which I'm going to call you out here. I think you think that because you're doing a debate with Tate this week. I'm just saying the timing's a little convenient. And also, do you really think that you're going to talk to Andrew Tate and change his mind? Is that the goal? Is it sit him down?
No, because I don't think Tate believes half the things he says anyway. He's just grifting. He's making money off of people that agree with him and the things he says. But I don't think he believes half the stuff he says. He just says it because it's what makes him money. So he has no reason to have his mind changed because it's not his mind being changed. And it's making him money, so why would he change his mind?
Down and enter the marketplace of ideas and he exits a better man? This has happened before. Hassan went on a call with Andrew Tate. They were talking about how imperial data is important and you can't just get into a car accident with two women and then say all women are bad drivers because it's too small of a sample size. You can look at a much larger sample size and pull real scientific data from it.
Andrew, do you believe the Earth
Exactly.
is flat, round, spherical, globe? You believe it's round, right? But when you walk outside, it feels like it's flat.
Brother, and I
It looks flat, it feels flat, but you believe it's round. Why do you believe the Earth is round?
because I have personal experience that would prove to me that the Earth is round.
Oh, you have personal experience. What happened? Did you go up to the fucking moon? Is that how you figured it out?
Exactly. I flew up into space and I looked down on Earth.
Yeah.
I saw people
That's crazy. Okay,
down there.
you don't have to. Hey, listen, you don't have to concede on that point, but I think you and I both understand the importance of scientific, the importance of empirical evidence in that one, right?
It's a great
Listen, Hassan didn't do great in that debate, but it was funny. It's just so dumb. It's people that say like, "Oh, I don't listen to evidence. I don't look at data. It's what my experience is what matters." No, that's if your experience can be what matters to you and like affect how you go through life, but there's a difference between using your experience to like guide your life, you know, right or wrong, versus asserting your experience as the truth. Because it's not the truth, it's only your personal experience. And Hassan brought up like how to find out whether men or women are worse drivers. Look at insurance rates. As a whole, insurance rates for men are higher than women because insurance companies have determined that statistically men get into more accidents. And that's very important. It's a good perspective.
Counterpoint. It's something that Andrew Tate has to face in a live setting, which can be a little stressful. So he goes into this, made-up story to try to just diffuse the situation, back out of it. But what came from it was not, you know what? Maybe empirical evidence is important. This is him today, Andrew Tate.
Yes, he told me I'm not lazy.
He's gonna hold Megalo.
It's
Watch.
Tsunami.
You remember him, the guy that was basically like sitting down with glasses? He's kind of like a bigger guy, like this.
Bigger like fat?
No, it wasn't. It's like really buff actually.
This is Andrew Tate pretending not to know who Hassan is today.
Oh, you're talking about
Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, he.
And it makes sense. It makes sense because he's never been interested in engaging in a real discussion that may change his worldview, or maybe he's trying to change a worldview.
Exactly.
All YouTube discussions are a waste of time to some extent because back in the day, discussions were between one person, and you are trying to reach a mutual conclusion together. Or perhaps you have some preconceived conclusions, and they'll change during the duration of a conversation. But nowadays, these conversations, whether they're through a podcast or a debate or whatever it is, there's a third person in the conversation, you.
Exactly. And that's why Vosh has said, like, he wants to keep doing debates. Because as much as it's not fun to debate Nazis anymore for him, he finds there to be utility in debating people to try to convince the audience of that person, hey, the audience who don't have a vested financial interest in that person being right or wrong. Hey, maybe this, what he, she, they are saying is not right. Maybe what they're saying has no evidence to support it, The audience is the person whose mind you're trying to change in a debate. It's the same way with actual debates, candidate debates on the campaign trail. The candidates aren't trying to convince each other what to do. The candidates are trying to convince the people watching and listening what is correct, which one of them is right. And that's the important thing. Also, just realized, I think I have the exact same mic arm as Ludwig. Interesting.
Viewer. And so it's much less a genuine effort to try to convince someone to be on your side or see their worldview, and it's much more trying to convince the thousands or millions of people watching to change their worldview.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have a preconceived conclusion, and it's just trying to find the data for your preconceived conclusion to convince those people watching, not the person across from you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why debate bros and all that shit is mostly just for show. It's a showmanship thing and a general waste of time if the goal is to try to see some worldviews, see other people's perspectives.
Exactly. It's not about debating in the marketplace of ideas to try to change that person's mind. The debate is to try to convince the audience's mind. 100% no notes.
That's all it is. It's not a genuine effort at all, which is why I was surprised when I saw this take from Ordinary Gamer.
Ludwig brought up both of the people that had bad takes. Ah! I didn't pre-watch this. Oh, I need to go Lud's tweet to hopefully ratio Budahar. Come on, bud. Come on.
Not great, by the way, who I think is great. But he said banning Andrew Tate is dumb. Ideas should be challenged, and if he spreads misinformation, it should be countered in the public sphere.
No, misinformation should be removed.
And I replied to this. I think it encapsulates my thoughts now pretty well. Regardless of whether banning is the correct decision, the idea that truth prevails in the public sphere has been repeatedly proven false. People just move to spheres that agree with their truth.
Yes.
And I found this the other day because I made a mogul mail, and I talked about people who were anti-vax. I used the term anti-vaxxers, which people got very upset about. And they said, I'm not anti-vax. I'm just against the vaccine. And you
that's anti-vax. What? The amount at this point, the amount of data we have on the COVID-19 vaccine is immense because of the amount of people that have had it, and at this point, there's no reason to not get it. In the same way that there's no reason to not get the Hep B or Hep A vaccine. There's just so much evidence to say hey, it's fine, it's good, there's so many trials and data on it that it's been proven time and time again. It's okay. It's fine. It's safe. It's effective, though less so with each variant, and you need to keep getting boosters because the virus keeps evolving, because some countries, the United States, decided to be dickheads.
Chose to do your own research crowd. I can do my own research right now. I can do my own research and I can find that getting the COVID vaccine makes you much less likely to go to the hospital, which is a big problem because hospitals are overrun. It even makes you slightly better at not getting the illness. But then there's also people who do their research and be like, well, this is the first mRNA vaccine. What's an mRNA vaccine mean for my body for the next 10 years? And people will only do the research to back their point. All debates in the public sphere, aka on social media, is a debate where other people are watching. And so it's never like a conversation, which then maybe the question is, hey, what is this commentary YouTube thing for? Is this valuable? Is this another sphere? Where are we? What's going on? Who's going to save us? How do we get to real public discourse? When will the truth prevail? What?
All right, I think we're good. Yeah, Ludwig said a lot of... It kind of went off the rails there a little bit. But he said pretty much everything I'm thinking. It's good Tate got banned. It's one less person causing misinformation and hatred on the platform. And now, hopefully, people who looked up to him as like a role model, as someone that they could take advice from, will find someone else who is a healthier mentor to them, who gives them good advice about like basic self-help and like taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, stuff like that. They can find someone who can give that basic advice, who also doesn't view women as property. But yeah, that's been the video today. Hell of a lot longer than the one I recorded before. If you liked it, let me know. If you disliked it, say so, I guess. Don't be an ass in the comments. But with that, my name has been NDNerd17, and I am out.